Well, hello you beautiful people, Mr. O here, and welcome back to another DVD video. Now, I'm going to show you how I did the challenge for the trapper trapping 5 survivors in his traps. And I had a few things to help me. I had the stitch bag, which helps me hold up to 3 traps, and the tar bottle that helps me darkens my traps so it will be more difficult for survivors to see them. And I also brought along the purple murky regent to help darken the map itself. So a lot of people think this is not great for killers, and sometimes it generally isn't, but in this case it'll probably be harder than to see traps, so that is my logic. Now my plan here is to trap the school, because the school is probably going to be the best place to trap the survivors since it's a big area. I'm not going to exactly trap the ruin either, because to be fair, at the time they're just going to, as soon as they find the ruin, they're going to keep pestering it, and I'm not actually going to get that trap done. And since it's in quite a common location, I didn't bother doing it. So if ruin goes, ruin goes. It's there to, you know, keep the game alive as long as possible, but depends on the location really. So I'm going to scan about and see what kind of survivors I'm up against, because in reality sometimes you're going to have games where you're going to have pretty good survivors or pretty bad ones, or a mix. So the best thing you can do is see which ones are the more weaker branch of survivors, and if you find them, try and keep them ones alive and focus more on the stronger ones, because I have a plan which I'll explain later, but my main target is to kill at least 2 survivors, preferably the stronger ones. So anyway, as I take down this Dwight, I get assaulted by by everyone. Nia, Adam coming for the save, and then David wants a piece. Look at him with his little top hat, bless his soul. And he's also naked. Put a sweater on or something. I'm not too bothered by this due to the fact that I'm also using save the best or last. So in addition, they just gave me 3 stacks. Even though that Dwight's the obsession, he isn't the strongest survivor by the looks of it, making quite a mistake like that. He could have had time to loot me or whatnot, so I'm going to keep him around, but I am going to hook him for purposes. So the other thing I want to mention as well is me trapping the outer rim of the school is probably the main objective, due to the fact that a lot of survivors, if you've played this map a lot of survivors go into the school to try and loot the killer, or try and use it as a safe haven when they're healing or being after a chase has been done. And the fact that a lot of people use the basement as a hiding area, it gave like pretty much the perfect opportunity to do this challenge on. So, and there are 5 versions of this map, so it's not exactly rare that you'll end up spawning in this map. I'd say the only other reasons to trap other areas outside the school, like the 2 houses and the killer shack as well, I'd put maybe like key trap placements, maybe just 1 or 2, just to like, and even if they see you place that trap, it doesn't matter, it serves the purpose of, at the time if you are chasing someone, they won't loot there because they can't loot there because that trap's in the way. So it'll force them to go into the school and then either make a mistake or make a delay. So that was my thought process during this match, and so far from what I've seen, the Nia seems to be the more confident survivor. So if I take her down as quickly as possible, it might be much easier for me to do this challenge in the late game. Also to note, if you are, you know, chasing someone that's pretty good and it's only early start of the match, it's not too bad, because let's face it, pallets are going to get in the way, and destroying all of the pallets in the early game, like for example she used the god pallet there, it's not a problem due to the fact there's still 5 generators up, ruins still up. So basically, if you are in a chase like this, keep pursuing it, get them to destroy all the pallets that are like you would deem a threat, because later on when you're chasing other survivors you can force them to the school, and then that's where all your traps are going to be. So yeah, I'm not too bothered about this chase. Bearing in mind I've already got my first trap with Dwight, as you saw his little aura there being trapped. So you know, my first trap out of 5, not too shabby. Would have preferred the Nia, but I hope beggars can't be choosers. But we destroyed this pallet here, which I'm extremely happy about. So when other survivors come into the school later on, that'll be much easier to take them down. As I said, yeah, I wish that trap was for Nia, but hey up, 4 more to go. And yeah, from as you can tell, this Nia is going to take me around the map again. Well, she's going to try to anyway. So they managed to get 1 generator done, not really that fussed. At least I know where they are once I get the Nia down. So yeah, a few pallets done, she's down, and someone's going to try and play hero. I can hear you, Adam, thank you. So yeah, get her hooked, and pretty confident with my trap placements in the building. They're all inside, so they might not know about the other traps on the other side. I hear an explosion indicating that the Adam was messed up on his healing, and I'm going to try and bait him into the school. I'm going to wait for him to get to the middle of the pallet, then smash it. And as you can see, he kind of sees the trap and tries to retreat, but it's too late, mate. Which is unfortunate, because I would have preferred him to be in the trap, but as I said, still early game. So David goes for the save, tries to play hero, and my second trap just went off, again by the Dwight in the school. So that's 2 traps now, as you can tell by the indication at the bottom. I get David, and now I've trapped the Nia, because the Nia tried to, again, go to the school for Sanctuary to probably heal or something, but she panicked and wasn't looking where she was going. So that's 3 traps done now. And pretty much got 3 people down, but obviously I'm not going to bother looking for the Adam. I'm just going to pick the Dwight up because I've only done 3 traps. Fun fact as well, I only thought I've only done 2 traps at this point in time, because I forgot about the first trap I did with Dwight, since it was pretty much a happy accident. So yeah, I'm just going to put these guys on the hooks and then pursue the other 2 into the school, or try to. That's the thing, sometimes it can be annoying to try and get people to go in a certain direction, but it can be pulled off. Now I see the other two survivors with barbecue and chili, and David goes towards the killer shack, which I'm gonna put a trap on outside of the window to make him not use the killer shack as a way to loot me and waste time. Even though I'd like the other survivors to get saved, I will probably take down this David, since I believe this is his last hook. And he does seem to show signs of better understanding than the Adam and the Dwight. So taking him down and the Nia down will be ultimately better for me. He tries to go for the safe here, but he knows that I'll get him. So, bye Nia. And since the Adam and Dwight are too busy disarming my traps, they'd rather do that than save one of their strongest teammates. So, unfortunately for Nia, she died on second hook, and David's dead now. So, my plan can truly come into action now, since I have two survivors. And I would say they were the weaker two out of the four. So, my plan is now to collect traps and absolutely turn that place, that school, into a fortress of death. The Dwight's made a couple of mistakes, but I'm going to place traps in different areas as well as the previous places, the obvious places, because I might give him the idea that I'm just going to repeat the same thing, and they'll be like, oh, I'll just disarm this, he's probably just going to place him in the same old place and try and get me, and then probably end up going into one of the newly placed traps. So, as I said, we've got we've already trapped 3 people, so I need to trap another 2 to do the challenge. I'm just going to patrol around the area, pick up more traps, because the more I trap that area, the more difficult it is. And trying to bait them into the school in a chase is going to be so much easier to do this challenge. And that's my 4th trap. It also, since I'm not in a chase either, they might be just like sneaking around and want to evade me. And the Dwight sees that trap, tries to go over, but obviously doesn't work. But as I said, I thought that was my 3rd trap rather than my 4th. So instead of hooking him, I'm going to place him. I'm going to plop him into the basement and see if the Adam will get him. So now the Adam will have a lot more fun trying to get Dwight, or the Dwight has Unbreakable and he has to try and get out of the school. Also, I don't trap the back entrance of the school. Reasons for this is because that I would like the other survivor to try and get in without seeing a trap, and since it's the only reason people go to the back of the school is by thinking it's the safest way to get in, I thought, well, if I block all the obvious exits when I see them within the school and then they panic and try and find another exit, they're not going to know that I've trapped it because they haven't seen it. But the Dwight does have Unbreakable, and that is my challenge done. He saw that trap previously, so he knew to disarm it, but didn't see the one at the top. Doubling those traps, eh? So again, I forget that I've done my objective now, but obviously I've forgotten. So hence the reason why he's still I'm still putting him in the basement. So I replace the traps just in case. he does get revived and think, haha, he's gonna put him in the same old place. So I just gotta look for the Adam at this point. Now I know that most survivors are not always gonna try and save their teammates, so this strategy may not always be set in stone, and it doesn't have to be the preschool. If you get the basement killer shack in most maps, this strategy can work there. Obviously, even though it's more of a smaller confined area, there's still plenty of traps that you can put in basements and the outside of the killer shack to make it work for you. I'm just using the advantage of the preschool being so massive. So it's basically just a massive killer shack, basically. So I take down the Adam, and since he's in the basement, my idea is to do the same thing with the Dwight, except I'm gonna kill the Dwight now because one, I've got Adam in the basement, and two, I only need one more trap, and I'm pretty confident that I can get that one trap with the Adam already inside the bottom floor of the school. So at this point it's pretty much GG, but as I said, in my head at the time I thought I've only done 4 traps even though it's 5. So I killed the Dwight, stinky Dwight, and something a little bit, I have a memory of a goldfish and forget that the hatch can spawn in the basement in the school. So yeah, I'm running through this boiler room thinking, hold on, it's here, isn't it? And I hear it and I slightly panic, and he was almost there. So I'll drop him. I did feel kind of bad, but you know, I want to do my challenge. And so yeah, he's in my basement, so, and he's like looking up at me like, finish me, do it. So I kind of convinced him to go upstairs, and yeah, that's 6 traps done on this match, even though I thought it was only 5. So yeah, I think the murky regen did help a little bit, I guess. Like I said, it's easier to pick out the stronger survivors to the weaker ones, and it did help. And like I said, you can still do this same strategy in the killer shacks in most games, in most maps. So it's not too difficult once you get a good map like the preschool. So anyway guys, I hope this video helped. It's quite a chill one for most of my videos, and if it did help, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and share this out, and comment below if this helped in any form of way, and let me know if I need to do more videos like this in the future. But until then, Mr. O signing out. Toodles.